JP paused, about to get into his truck, when Sarah's car sped past him, spitting gravel. Her tires squealed when she hit the paved street and ran the only traffic light in town to head for home. He frowned. The kiss they had shared was still reverberating through his system, and Sarah had seemed to enjoy it as much as he had. Sure, Sarah had been extra nervous throughout the evening, but they'd had a good time together, hadn't they? And they'd made plans, horseback riding and a picnic at his place. Had he said or done, or not said or done, something to upset her? He hauled open the door of his truck and hoisted himself behind the wheel. Should he follow her? Ask her if everything was all right? That was his inclination, but after a little more thought, he decided against the idea. Sarah might be out of practice when it came to first dates, but she wasn't the type to fly off the handle at some imagined slight. She was a strong, independent woman. He liked that about her, liked it a lot. And she didn't need some yahoo checking up on her. If Sarah needed help, she'd call Eli, her brother, and only if she couldn't handle whatever was going on herself. Going against his considerable pride and masculine tendency to butt in whenever he saw a woman facing any kind of struggle, JP started his truck and headed out of town toward his ranch. It seemed an especially lonely place, that rambling house, empty except for good old Trooper, who would be awaiting his return with the kind of eagerness only dogs can manage. For all that, he thought of Sarah as he navigated the familiar roads leading the way home, and he worried about her. When he pulled up in front of the house 10 minutes later, he spotted Trooper through the living room, keeping his clumsy watch from his favorite lookout post, the back of the couch. A lab mix. Troop was too big to fit there comfortably, but that never seemed to bother him. The thought struck JP that his faithful dog was getting up there in years, and that gave him a hard pang of sorrow, square in the center of his heart. His throat tightened momentarily, and the backs of his eyes stung. He shook his head, but the emotion stuck. JP shut off his truck, got out, locked it, and headed for the front door. Trooper barked joyfully when JP entered the house, enjoying an ear ruffle and then rolling over for a belly rub.